Older adults with anabolic resistance cannot afford to rely on inferior proteins. Okay, now that we've discussed the origin and me touching on another one, the sedentary living, let's zoom into the big ones, aging and obesity. And let's start with aging because that is the main one. That is, in fact, the aspect that gave birth to the whole idea of anabolic resistance. With aging, there are several physiological changes that converge to impair muscle's anabolic response. One of the most significant is the decline in anabolic hormones. Now, I mentioned testosterone a moment ago, and that's a very relevant one. But it's more than that. Also, growth hormone and one of growth hormone's products, IGF-1, insulin-like growth factor. Well, all of these hormones are down with age. One of the more compelling pieces of evidence for anabolic resistance in aging comes from a recent study just published in 2024 by Luc van Loon in his lab at Maastricht University. They compared muscle protein synthesis rates in older adults after consuming either an omnivorous meal, in other words, animal protein, or a vegan meal. And both meals were matched for calories and protein content. That is very, very important. So there was the same amount of protein content in both meals and calories, because calories also matter. Fat also matters in this. But the animal-based protein source stimulated significantly higher muscle protein synthesis than the vegan meal or protein source. This finding underscores a very, very important point. Older adults with anabolic resistance cannot afford to rely on inferior proteins. While younger individuals may get away with lower quality proteins, which is to say plant-based proteins, older adults require a higher quality. And a lot of this is they need more leucine. That is that main amino acid I mentioned a moment ago, like whey or beef. All these animal proteins will have much higher levels, but they need more of a push to get over that anabolic threshold. So this is a clear example of how aging muscle becomes more demanding and a little less forgiving. It needs more.